Hi everyone! Today, there's no challenge, no huge goal, just me sitting down and doing some head studies. I've been trying to get better at portraits lately, and I know I can watch all the tutorials that I want, but eventually I have to put the pencil down and actually draw. Funny enough, I didn't realize my phone wasn't recording, so the part where I drew the initial circle and guidelines for this first head is missing. I got it pretty quickly though, but the next head should make a lot more sense because you'll actually get to see that part. By the way, this isn't a tutorial. I'm really just sharing my process while I practice. I'm self taught and I'm still figuring things out myself, so I don't feel comfortable teaching techniques as I've mastered them. Think of this as a draw with me session instead. So, if you've been wanting to practice but keep putting it off, maybe grab a sketchbook or a piece of paper and draw along with me. We don't have to make perfect drawings today, we're just showing up and getting some practice in. You might notice I'm a little hesitant with my lines. I'm still working on drawing with more confidence, so you'll see me making a few extra strokes here and there instead of committing right away. And hopefully that gets better with more practice. I think I've reached a point where I don't want to keep searching for the perfect tutorial. Every artist seems to have a slightly different approach, and after a while, I realized that watching another video wasn't going to magically make me better. At some point, I just have to sit down and draw. I also kept the pacing of this video pretty relaxed on purpose. If you're drawing along with me, I don't want you to feel like you have to rush to keep up. Because I think it's nice to see that drawing isn't always fast. Art takes time. And sometimes the most important part isn't making another line. It's taking a second to look at what you've already drawn before deciding what comes next. I was actually tempted to keep rendering this one. I even picked up a brush. But then I remembered what today's practice is really about. I'm here to work on the construction of the head and the basic proportions, not to make finished portraits. So I'm going to leave it here and move on to the next one. For every head I draw, I usually start with a circle and 5 guidelines. That's just become my starting point. I'm sure there are plenty of other ways to approach it, but this is the one that makes the most sense to me and helps me keep everything organized before I start drawing the features. One thing I'm really happy about is that this is the first time the construction or the drawing of the head has actually started to click for me. Because before, I was mostly guessing where everything should go. Now, I feel like I understand the structure a little better. There's still so much for me to learn, but finally having that foundation makes practicing a lot more exciting. It's actually a really nice feeling because I'm not guessing as much anymore. But that doesn't mean I always get it right. I still have to erase things and make adjustments all the time, of course. But now I have a better idea of what I'm looking for, and that makes practicing a lot more enjoyable. Also, I'm leaving the erasing in the video on purpose. I could have edited it out, but I think it's important to show that making corrections is completely normal. It's a pretty normal part of my process, at least, because I don't usually get the proportions right on the first try, so I'm constantly making little adjustments until everything feels like it's in the right place. I'm keeping the hair pretty simple for this one. I'm only adding a few shadows to give it a little more dimension. Otherwise, the whole drawing starts to look a bit flat. I don't want to overwork it though, so I'm calling it good enough. So let's move on to the next head. For this one, I'm going with a side view. This was actually intentional. I wanted to practice different angles instead of filling the whole page with the same three-quarter view. I feel like every angle teaches me something different, and I don't want to get too comfortable drawing just one angle. It's actually tempting to stick with whatever feels easiest, but I think practicing a variety of views will help me understand the head a little better. That's really my goal with these studies. I always find this part interesting. At the beginning, the drawing usually doesn't look very convincing to me. Then I add a few simple shadows around the nose, the eyes, or wherever the light naturally wouldn't hit, and suddenly it starts to feel a lot more like a face. It's amazing how just a few values can change the whole drawing. For my last head, I'm going with a front view. I think this one is a good way to wrap up today's practice since I've already tried a three-quarter view and a side profile. What's interesting is that even though the front view seems like the simplest angle, I don't always think it is. It's a lot easier to notice when something isn't symmetrical. If one eye is slightly higher than the other or the nose is just a little off center, it becomes pretty obvious. So I'm taking my time with this one and making little adjustments as I go. I only noticed this while I was editing. Apparently, I started drawing the lips before I had finished the other eyebrow. I had no idea I did that at the time. It's funny what you notice when you watch yourself draw. I guess that's another benefit of recording these practice sessions. You start noticing little habits that you'd probably never catch otherwise. Looking at the page, I just realized I still have enough space for a few more head studies. I think I'll save those for another session though. That way, I can come back to this page and see if anything changes between now and then. Maybe it will turn into a little series. I had a lot of fun doing this and I hope you enjoyed hanging out and drawing with me. If you did, I'd love to have you back to the next practice session. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.